Let's try that again. Happy Wednesday. I said I was never ready to start this. I'm never ready to start this. Like I don't have the chat up. Is the chat here? Pop out. Is it even working? Is anybody watching? I don't think so. Okay, hold on. Let me get this fixed back up again. Here, I'm not ready. Okay. That goes there, and then that goes there. Okay, happy Wednesday from deep inside the imperial nation with imperial ambitions always and failures at every step. Anyway, here we are. And we're the day before, in this country, it's the day before a day called Thanksgiving, where I won't comment on that holiday today. Anyway, but happy holidays if you're here in this country or wherever you are. Happy Wednesday. Happy end of November. We're close to the winter solstice, 1 month away. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, oh, now I've got sound. Yes, thank you. It looks like I have sound. Of course, the glasses need to be washed. Okay, so what are we going to work on today? Hello, Robert. Thanks for joining. What are we going to work on today? I am not ready. Okay, so back over here on this, do I have just a plane? Yes, there we go. That is these things. Oh, I don't have them. Where are they? I can't believe it. They're gone. I am so ill-prepared. Those are leading and trailing edges. And I'm using the ends of my spools to print them. And now I have to find them. Let's leave that on the camera for a second. Oh my gosh, they're gone. I cleaned up my desk and oh, they're over here. I put them over here. So I can't believe that I've been building foam airplanes for almost 10 years. And I have been printing for almost 10 years, and I have a few spools of, oh, I didn't put this spool in the, hold on, we got to put the next spool in the spool heater. Hold on. The spool dryer, whatever, the filament dryer. Let's put the next one in. What I'm doing is I have Matter Hackers Build. I've used many of these over the time of my existence 3D printing. I've probably thrown, I don't know if I've thrown some away, but I can't seem to find all the spools. Okay, so what they're printing there is these things, which I'm going to put on camera in a second here, if I can get it together. Yeah, we'll get it together. We'll switch to this one. All right. We're sort of here. There we go. Huh? Almost. So this is like the edge of the foam board, and this is the trailing edge, so it's just basically a little, it goes down to a point, quote unquote. I purposely topped it off with a 0.2 or a 0.4 tip, 0.4 of a millimeter at the edge, and that way it prints one straight line of filament. So it ends the top with one straight line of filament. So these are for trailing edges. Trailing edges, like on the trailing edge of a, whoops, let's say not this piece, because this is quite not exactly the right length, but to put on the edge of a trailing edge of a control surface. So this one I'm printing the wrong thing, one of the wrong things, but I wanted to print a trailing edge for the rudder for this plane and the elevator and the leading edge, and I've got some leading edges here too. Well, no, I don't. I have no leading edges. Where are they? Hold on. Where's the thing that I built? Oh my gosh. Now I don't know where that is either. I built a whole tail section and now it's gone too. You guys, I am so sorry. I'm always like this, aren't I? Okay, well, anyway, so I was cleaning up the attic. The whole purpose of this, what we're going to do today, if I have a backup plan, if this doesn't work, but we've got this here fuselage, which if I could bring it out a little, that I've been cleaning out the attic, and I had a box, it's back in the background there, with some foam board. I am so mad at myself though. Where did I put the, here it is. Here it is, hold on. So here's a tail, a horizontal stabilizer, and the front of it has these 3D printed things. So what's printing over here? And there's still a line of filament there. We're using the end of the spool, so we got to kind of keep an eye on that. But okay, so let's switch back to this one. Okay, so, and this is the trailing edge. This is the first one I've ever glued, and I've of course screwed it up. This piece is, I measured wrong, so it's too short. But I also cut it because I glued it on crooked, so this edge doesn't quite line up. And then that edge, if I can get it in there. Let's put the white behind it there, see? Or oh, it almost focused for a second. Anyway, it won't focus, the stupid camera. I had to cut that edge off right there because it was hanging off. So I printed pieces. I'm printing them to length so that they're edged, and they're just hollow. So let's check on that again. So now we're printing two little short pieces of leading edge for, press the button, dude, for this, here, and here. Is this not the right way? Yes, it is. Okay. And then one trailing edge for here. And I forgot the trailing edge for here. And then what I also designed and printed today is, well, actually I designed this last night and printed it today after work, are these things. This is going to be the motor front, and this is what it's going to slide onto. So this is going to get hot glued. Instead of doing kind of like the cheapo flight test way, see there's holes in there, and there's holes in here. If I could get this, here, let me get this camera set up right. There's no lights. Let me get some lights. There's no lights. Maybe that might help a little. Okay. There's some holes. And then that's going to kind of go on there like that. And the motor. So this is going to be 4S. I'm planning 4S for now because I only have this motor 1400 kV. And that's going to go there. And this is the crazy part of this, is that I forgot to put a bridging layer in here. Look at the holes. And then it ended up printing the holes in midair first. Like I didn't pay attention to the slicing order, and I didn't put the bridging layer like I usually, like something like this. Now I fixed it on the model already, but there should be a bridging layer in there, a solid layer, so that I'll drill through for future ones. Anyway, it's still printed fine. I mean, the inside is a little gobbledygooked, but the other thing, I kind of wanted to show what I did here in the Prusa slicer, because hold on. Now I was reading your comment, and then, now we got to look and see if there's still filament there. There's still filament there, but the camera's going off. We got to fix that. Okay, so anyway, back to this. So this is, the motor goes on here. The wires will go in there. This will get glued in. This is the joiner. and it'll get glued in, and we're gonna maybe do all that today, hopefully. We still have to cut a wing, and I have to make what I call a wing saddle, which I was making a new one in Fusion, and I wanted to get it done before I started this, but I didn't get it done. So, you know, we won't get to all that part, I guess. I don't know. But we will put the heat set M3. We're going to see if I can do it at an angle, because I got to put the heat set things in there. And I've got this 4mm carbon, so that's now what's, instead of my barbecue skewers, I'm going to start using this as the things that go through to hold on the wing. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to use a piece of this for the Chapito, which I think I have everything for the Chapito, and I was going to work on that, but I'm kind of afraid. So we're going to work on something a little simpler for my first airplane project in more than a long time. So yeah, so one of these pieces is going to go for the tail mod. Well, I won't even need, I think I need about this much. It's going to go for the tail mod for the Painless 360 removable top tail, because that way you can remove the motor. And like this airplane, where I'm definitely going to change out this motor, but I just kind of want to throw this on here and have some fun with this plane here, because it found it in the attic. So I figured what I would do, it's basically a tiny trainer size, a flight test tiny trainer size fuselage in length. The tail feathers are the tiny from the tiny trainer pattern, which, because I probably built this years ago before I would be afraid, you know, well, even like now I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so what am I saying? Before I knew what I was doing, which is still now. So here's what it's going to look like with the front, and then the motor will go on there, and the motor wires will go through there. Oh, you can't even see that hole. And I think it's going to work out pretty good. So I think we should work on this today. Yeah, ready made. Ready board. We got the high dollar stuff here. $1 per sheet. This probably truly was $1 when I bought whatever foam I built this from. Was probably $1. Now it's $1.25. And that reminds me, I need to buy another box of that stuff probably. Okay, so we have everything we need to make an airplane, except for the wing saddle. Well, we didn't make the wing yet either, but it's foam board, so we can make one, right? I think. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Let's check the. Oh, it's still got it. How far are we done here? How far? That's the question. Fix the lights. Let me go. Let's go check it out. Let's go see. How many rounds around there's it still wraps around the spool two times. The filament still, and it's going to finish before that. It's at the very top. So the trailing edges, we are able to get these 3 trailing edges from a leftover spool. We have another leftover spool in the filament dryer, and then I thought I had one more. Aha! Oh, there's at least 3 more in this thing. This one is not build. Here, I've got a gray one. We'll make some gray ones and some white ones. Oh, we have white. I should have put white in the filament dryer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pay attention. This is a workshop live stream. so unprofessional, Robert. I don't have any idea why you torture yourself. Okay, so the first thing we should do probably is heat up the soldering iron. Let's switch to, can I switch to, which camera do I have here ready to go? That one. Here we go. Hello, I'm back. Okay, hi. It's so low compared to the American dollar, but our phone board is 125 also. Yeah, so that means you're getting it cheaper, right? Yeah. Cheaper, because everything. But like I said in my last thing, the Ninja Flex hasn't gone up. $55 from 2019. 2019. I can't talk. Okay, so we've turned on the soldering station. No, we did not. We've turned it on. We don't need any sponge because we're going to use the CNC kitchen. CNC kitchen. I love that YouTube channel. When I was first learning how to 3D print, that was one of the ones that I used to definitely watch to learn stuff. Well, I mean, I still watch it, but now I tend to watch only things that I need to watch to learn something specific. Okay, so we're going to have 4 of these little things. Let's get this camera going here. I'm sorry about the lighting. We're going to work on... Oh, it's way too hot. Off. Enter. Enter again. I hate this, that there's no dial. Okay. 209. Enter. That was way too... We don't want to make this 400 degrees, that poor little thing. We want it 200 degrees. Okay. So we heat the soldering iron up to 200 degrees. And it's got a little tip. I even bought the tips from CNC Kitchen. Oh, let's change the camera. It's got a little tip from CNC Kitchen. That fits the M2. Oh, it finished. There's the parts. It's presenting. I have the end script to present the parts out to the front at the end. There. Okay, so we'll let that cool down. And we'll change the spool to the white spool, and we'll print some leading edge, trailing edge for the rudder, and leading edge for the rudder. And that'll be in white. How about that? Okay, so that's the... This is the thing. This is the bit, the soldering tip that goes inside of... They go right inside of there. But what I want to do... What I want to try when it cools down, it's still over 200 right now, is, and this is, you're not going to be able to see this because my lighting is so bad. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this one this way. Turn this one this way. Are all these lights on? Yep, they're all on. All right, that's the best I can do. It's black, everything's black, and I have lights. It's so bright on my face that I can barely see. But okay. Can you believe this motor? This has got to be a motor from like 2015 to 2017, I'm going to say. No later than 2018, right? Did I buy this? And it still was never opened. Okay, so we're ready to go. I'm afraid to try this, but we're going to do it. Soldering tip is cooled down. We need to get some better glasses. Let's see. Good thing is I don't think I'll be getting my fat head in the way, but you won't be able to see very well. So I'm going to have to go in at an angle, which means I won't be able to push it in the way I normally do, straight up and down. And I'm just going to go at this without actually worrying about what is showing up on camera at the moment, because I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do it. I'm going to tilt it. The hole should have been bigger, just so it sets in there. I might have to, all right, here, we're going to do some adjustments. We're going to get out our X-Acto knife, or whatever this is. Whoops, dropped it. Let's hope I don't cut myself open, but we're going to take this and try to kind of bevel out the hole a little bit. I'm going to bevel this one out. So this is 3.9 on the actual model, so I'm going to need to make it like 4.2. I should have made these holes 4.2. Let's go adjust them. Okay, so I hope you can see in there what I'm doing, but I'm trying to just kind of give myself a little bit of place that these might stick in first, because if they just stick in kind of flat, then I'll be able to push it in easier. So that's where I made the mistake. I should have just planned on, I knew I was going to have to push them in at an angle. I knew it. Get in there from this side a little bit. I did give myself a good bevel right there actually, but I don't know if it's wide enough, but it's not deep enough. That's the problem. Even though this is a brand new knife, it's not sharp enough. Okay, all right, this might work. Let's try one. This might work. I might boost the temperature on this actually. All right, I'm sorry you're probably not going to be able to see, but I gotta prioritize actually doing this. And we're going to push it on its side, actually, at first at least, until I get it to start going in there. Come on. Yeah, I think, oh, it's going in. Okay. Now I'm going to go at it like this and get it in straight. There we go. I think that's pretty good. A little crooked this way. Oops. That might be good enough. I mean, it's not like holding the motor on or anything. Well, sort of is, but it's a little crooked. Actually, I can see it now. Come on, this way. Still. Okay. This is definitely workshop work. Okay, I think it's going to be straight enough for it to thread in. We're just going to experiment. Okay, now I got to bevel out the next one. This is going to take a while. This is why I don't get anything done in these workshops at Wednesdays, isn't it? But at least I'm not just still designing this and wanting to print it, right? Okay, let's go at it from this way. Next time will be better. These iterative designs, we get to fix them and improve them, and I'll put a little bigger inset for this screw. Because what I did here with these models, both of these, is I modified them in the slicer to make it solid around the holes and solid around the infill solid around the front. And I'll show what I did here. I'll show my work. Okay, there's the screw hole from that side. Is it going to go through? We don't know. But we're going to try our best. Actually, let's take this screw right here. This is our test screw. I was supposed to go through these holes first with these screws. Let's just get our Allen key. I may have screwed up, but that's okay. It's a 65-cent part. We can, well, it's cost more now that I put that heat set in there, isn't it? Doesn't it? Oh, I got it. Oops, is it cross-threading? Don't cross-thread. What's in there? It's a piece of plastic, I think. I hope I didn't cross-thread it. Did I cross-thread it? Where's the screw? The screw doesn't look damaged. Come on. Ah, the joys of 3D printing with a cheap ass. Yeah, I don't feel like it's going in straight. Crap. Now I gotta bevel this side too. So we gotta make the holes a little bit bigger. And the only reason for that is because we're printing it with an ANET A8, you know, I mean, and it's got, that one is pretty stock. Not a lot of, it does look crooked. Damn, it's hard to get those things in straight. I gotta say that about the heat set things. Okay, we're gonna try to straighten it out. No wonder I can't see. I've got these high magnification glasses on. Okay, we're going to try to straighten it out. Let me just... I wonder if I could push... It doesn't look like I cross-threaded it. I don't see any thread damage. It just looks a little bit crooked in the only way that I can't really push it. I can't go that way because the side of the thing is that way. Okay, where's that damn long ass screw again? If we can't get a long screw in there, we're not going to be able to get a nice short screw in. What the hell? Let's put a short screw in through the other side, though. Do it from the other side. I might have to go get some screws because where's the M3? In this junky drawer of billions of screws. Here, I've got to have M3s over here. Here. M3 round head, not what I want to use eventually, but let's just go with the short one like this. go this way. And then what do I need? I need a 2 millimeter. Let's try this. Okay, it's going through. It's telling me that I didn't cross thread the thing. So the problem is that I put it in the blind way. If you look at this blind hole, this is what I was trying to do, not a through hole. I did 3.9. I probably did exactly 3.9 on the design because, well, that's what I usually do at first. I follow the... So it goes through just fine this way. So that tells me that the outside blind side is pushing the screw in a direction. And it looks pretty straight too, actually. So that's good. So why can't we get the screw in the other way? That is the question. I got all that stuff out of there, it seems like. What's pushing it out of the way? I'm going to have to get another brand new blade on this, and this is just already a brand new blade. All right. Look at how much time it's taken me to get one screw hole in this thing. In a foam board, cheapo airplane thing. Okay, the idea is I'm going to be using like a 10 millimeter screw. So which one's a 10 millimeter? Like this one. This is probably a 12 millimeter. Let's use a 12 millimeter screw. Come on. Oh, come on. Dude. All right, it goes, no, it gets stuck. It's cross-threading. Gosh, what the hell? There we go. That's not good, though, for quick and easy removal, although I only need to remove it when I'm going to change the motor. This side, when it goes in, it looks crooked. So I think it must be over here. I don't even know if I was under the camera. I'm sorry. See what happens when I start getting like... Okay, so definitely got to do something about the size of these holes. Don't say anything. Okay, that's still right there. You can see, well, you can't see probably because I'm just trying to make it so I don't stab myself. Damn. Okay, well, this will be the live stream today, folks. Is me putting this freaking screws into this thing. This thing, I thought this would be easy. Well, I thought it would be easier. I mean, it is in there a little crooked. That is for sure. It's in there a little crooked. This doesn't bode well for my plan. It just doesn't. No, it just doesn't go in easy. It just doesn't. It goes in easy from the other side, but not from this side. What does that tell us? What is that telling us? Don't tell me to look at the chat. Just, I'm too concentrating right now. Gosh darn it. Let's put it through this way again and clear it out. Let's just see. It goes right in. This way. No problemo. Oh, man. What a bummer. It goes right through. There's so much room. There's so much room. What the hell? And it looks perfectly straight. Well, not perfectly straight. It is at an angle, actually. Gosh darn it. All right. That is a bummer. This plan is maybe not so good. Not such a good plan. Now, here, this will be the tell. Hold on. I don't know why I haven't been trying this the whole time. Is to put it through. Come on. It's going to be on this thing, right? So here. Yeah, it's not going to thread through. Shit. Oh, man. My crappy tolerances. It's not going to work. It's in there crooked. All right, we're going to turn up the soldering iron a little bit so I have more effective heat. We're going to try to solve this. We're not giving up yet. Let's go to 259. 260, whatever. All right. Leave the screw thread of it and heat it. Hey, you're brilliant, Sean. You're brilliant. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. Get the big one in there. Now let's put a littler one. That'll put the more heat onto the thing. And then we should start working on the next one, see if I can actually straighten it, get it in straight. Not be an idiot. It's not easy though. I didn't make this an easy construction to do this. Okay, that is brilliant. Let's sit there and it's gonna just, I'm gonna push on it. No, I got a ways to go. Patience. I'm gonna have to get down here and look at it. See if I can make any progress in bending it. Let's put it closer. Less leverage, more heat. I don't know what's worse, what's better. And I'm gonna break the ceramic if I push too hard in my $100 Hacko. I should probably use a different soldering iron. I should probably not be doing it with this tip. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good idea, except it's not doing anything. And I don't want to push it too hard. Huh. I have screwed myself, but I still have 3 more holes, so maybe one hole won't work. Let's try to do another one. Okay. And then I'll have to print I'll have to change the holes a little bit, see if I can give myself a better advantage, a better chance of getting it in. Is it hot even? No, it isn't even that hot. It's a little hot. Okay. Yep, I got to carve this out a little bit. Part of the problem is I'm only carving it on the side that I can access, which is the same side that is going to get lower down when I push it in. And you think you can't see. I can't see either. So, and I've got like 5 billion lights on and it's still dark. That is so crazy. Everything's black. Black, black, black. Okay. Let's see how that is. Oh, that's sitting right in there. Come on. Okay, here we go. I doubt you'll be able to see any of this. But let's try it. Get it in there straight, dude. Try to get it in straight. Oh, that looks a little straighter than the last one. Definitely straighter than the last one. All right, let's try it out, folks. Let's see. First, let's just put a screw in from the back side and see how it looks. Come on. You go in there. Oh my God. I guess I'm going to have to start it by hand. There we go. All right. Oh my God, I can't get... Oh, this is the wrong... No, it's not. It's the right one. Oh my gosh, I can't get it through there. Okay. That looks straighter than the last one. That is for sure. Does it look straight this way? We don't know. It's harder to tell. It does look a little bit like it's coming towards this side. Let's see how it comes out of there. It looks like there's so much room. But, okay, so it goes through. It didn't push out any bits of plastic or anything. So, next test is to put it in this side. Oh, it goes right in. Right in, folks. Okay, so then the next test. This screw isn't set up for this hole. This hole is set up for the cap head. Of course, I have some somewhere. And let's just see if we can get it started. Oh yeah, I think it's going right in. Yep. Okay. All right. So, we can do it. Let's do it 3 more times. Two more times correctly. And then let's try to fix the other one by pushing that one out. Like here, we'll get a big, we'll just do that at the end. Okay, so now let's prep. 1 down, 3 to go. I've already carved this one out a little bit. Let's carve it better on this side. And it's another reason why I did a solid infill around here. It's kind of good to have a lot of extra plastic where I'm screwing this. Okay. Now, let's see if this little guy is going to sit in there. The key is to get it to be able to sit straight at the beginning. So you're not totally... Oh, let's get this screw out of here so it's not getting me off a kilter. I have to take it all the way out. We'll just leave it like that. Okay. All right. I'm going to see if I can carve this back side out just a little bit more. Right. right there. And, there goes the blade. Okay, how does this work? Stick that in there. There's some kind of a grabber spring, right? Which way does it go on the grabber spring? Does it matter? I don't feel like it's in very securely. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm very, very concentrating right now because I've obviously not I thought this would be easier than it is. Okay, there. Okay, that's good. Now, here we go again. I apologize for the lack of ability to see anything, but I'm going to do it where I can best see myself. Oh, shit. Oh, poop. All right, get out of the way. Let's go with this one. There. There it goes. Go straight. Just keep straight. Oh, that's crooked. There. I think that's pretty straight. Okay, here we go again. There is a bunch of plastic now in this way I can see already. So I did this one kind of for, oh, look at that. I haven't put this blade in right. Let's figure out how to use this thing. There's got to be something that goes in that hole, right? Come on. I can't believe I don't know how to use a knife, an X-Acto knife. Let's look at the inside and see if we can understand how this works. There is no catch for that. It's just a spring. There is no piece that goes in the middle. All right. We will reassemble. It would seem like there'd be a little slot piece. Oh, come on. Let's put that in there. Let's put this in here. Today we will learn to reassemble. That goes in there. A X-Acto knife. Well, this is technically a Fisker's knife. Okay, which side of that spring should I be pushing this thing in? Should have paid more attention. We'll go in easier this way. Let's put it in this way. All right. And then that little notch there, it's got to go into there, obviously. Then we tighten. And then that must have to go all the way in. Except I am so old and decrepit that I can't get it in any further. See what happens, you guys, when you get old? I think that should be tight enough. All right. Sorry for the delay, folks. Let's hope this is in the... Oh my gosh! What did I do to this knife? Oh, I can see what I've done. No. How could it go in that way? Oh, you guys, I feel so stupid. How could it possibly go? Oh, it does go in that way, you dumbass. Okay, now let's get that notch back over here. What an idiot. How did I manage to tie my shoes this morning? Okay, don't answer that question. All right. Do we still have sound? I haven't even looked at the stream. I'm sorry. I'm going to get another one of these screws in, and then I'll pay attention to what's happening in there. I'm having a hard enough time trying to keep the camera in front of the things that I'm working on. Okay, let's put this screw in from back here and see what plastic gets pushed out. I wanted to make a complicated foam board plane, clearly. Now I'm not going to be able to use that screw hole to screw this in, am I? No. Sure not. It's not how it's going to go. So now, oh, we've run into plastic. Lots of plastic, and now would be the good time to have the screw hole. So we're going to get an Allen key with a round head, which we have here. And I believe that is a 2. So let's get out the 2. And let's get that plowed through there. And see how that'll help us cut some of this plastic out. There we go. It looks pretty straight. It's just that I melted some plastic into the hole. This might make it easier to cut it. I don't know. I'm looking at some burring tools on the Jungle website, and then so I can hopefully find them somewhere else. But you know, there are some things that are hard to find outside of the Jungle website. Let's be honest. And they have this like little sets of 3D deburring tools. And they look kind of cute. They're probably crappy, like everything. Oh, this is working out well. All right, so now we have a second hole to test from this side. Come on, no, there's still some crappy crap in there. Right at the edge. And all it takes is a little bit of plastic to crumble up the screw. Sorry, but there's some. All right, let's try it. So yeah, we're gonna have to work on, I think the next iteration of this design, I have to either thicken it up back here so I have more room to put the screw in, and then have a bigger hole on this side with maybe a countersunk something. Because this is the hardest time I've had using these heat sunk screw boss things that I can remember. Okay, it's going in. All right, so now let's try it from through here. See if it goes in without cross threading. It does. Okay, so now let's get another one and put it in the other side. Oh my God, you guys, I feel like such a dodo brain. You wonder why it takes me 5.5 years to build an airplane. Remember how long it took me to build that spear? I built that on live streams, I'm pretty sure. Robert, you watched pretty much the whole thing. That spear is a great plane, but it sure took a long time for me to build. Okay, so 2 screws go in. This screw is defective. One more here. And we're going to use the cap, we're not using these. We're going to use different screws in the actual thing. They will go in there, inside that hole, at least a little bit. And we got to put the motor on, see if the motor comes on, because boy, it sure is, you can't see in there, but it's spaghetti at the bottom of that thing. It looks nice on the top. It's spaghetti underneath because it printed into midair, and it's still somehow, gotta love the self-repairing quality of, especially PLA. I mean, holy crap. Just print in midair. Just print this in midair. Go ahead, try it. I did. It worked. Yeah, it worked. You got to look at that. There's hardly any place on the top where at the beginning, when it did the first, because this was the bottom, this was at the print bed, there's hardly any place where it could go all the way across without a bridge. And if you look at it in the slicer, you can tell that it should fail. This should fail. I mean, it shouldn't have, I mean, it's 5mm wall thickness, so, and it's solid. There's no infill in this top, like, 1/8 of this. There's no infill at all. There's infill. There's solid infill, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat and see what you have to say. Welcome, Sean. Welcome, by the way. Okay, hello. He doesn't read the chat much. I'm gonna do better. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thread the screw in from the back, heat it, and straighten it. I'm gonna try that. We're gonna put a big honkin' chisel tip on that. Just like, oh, put a big chisel tip on it. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. I've honestly never installed heat set inserts. Well, now you know why. Well, one of the key things is to have well-designed holes to put them in. And this is not that. I tried to follow the design guidelines, but again, this is the first iteration. I've done these holes before, but I lost my notes. And most of that, all that was done on the computer that is gone. That the hard drive failed and I lost half my life. Oh, we're going to leave that screw in. Oh no, for now we're going to get it out of the way. We're going to get it out of the way. So that I can get the one in over here. Because we're going to get 3 good ones at least before I even mess with this one. So let's do the chisel tip. Let's do the X-Acto knife, I mean. And I'm going to do both sides this time before we stick the thing in there. Now, if I had, again, Sean, if I had a well-designed print here, or at least the whole part of it, it's not a very complicated print. This isn't my most challenging design here. But this is the first time, this is not challenging either, by the way. It took like 15 minutes. But this is the first time I've done a thing with a loft, I think. I think it is. My first loft. Look at that seam. That's terrible. A-net A8 from 2018. A-net A8 plus, I should say. Plus. Okay, so we're going to take a little out of here. I might have to get a new X-Acto blade in there now that I know how to actually change it. Alright, let's see. We'll go look at my See if the trailing edges work too. I gotta check those out. All right, let's see if this will stick in there. Where is it? Right here. Okay, let's go right. I should be able to get it. Let's do a little bit more. Back here. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a little, one of these guys. Okay, all right. Whoopsie. Flip it over. Oopsie. Maybe I should be doing this not in midair. Yeah, let's put it down here. Sorry. Are you going to sit up straight for me? Come on. Yeah, I think you should work out. Yeah, all right. Let's do it. Here we go. Sorry again that you won't be able to see anything, but I'm going to get down here. I can't see anything either. Get this chair out of the way. Get my stance correct and get this thing in there correctly. There you go. Come on. There you go. Go in. Go in straight. Oh, that is way crooked. Shit. This way. I think I managed to straighten it out. All right, let's see how poorly we did. Oh, it's a mess. It is tilted way toward that way, which I was trying to do, but I succeeded all right. Oh my God. That one I might have totally trashed. So that means both of them on this side suck. Both of them on this side suck. Let's see how bad that one is. Oh my God. That is so crooked. Wait, I might be cross-threading it in. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, this'll convince everybody to do heat set, whatever these things are called. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't do it. Plan ahead. I should just junk this whole thing and print a better one with better size holes. I'm going to try 4.2 millimeter holes. But okay, let's, well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to push these things out. I've probably screwed it up though. Once I push them out, this piece is probably trashed. It's a good idea though. It'll get there. I'll get it. We might be able to straighten these out. I should hold out hope for myself. I'm still going to print another one. See, I have another fuselage like this, but it's a slightly different dimension. But of course I have these in there as parameters, I'm pretty sure. So all I have to do is go in and change a number in the Fusion change parameters screen. Okay. Oh, I'm frustrated with myself with this. I did a poor, very poor design choices. That looks straight that way. Is this the one I already got? I was going to leave the screw in. Would be nice to have at least one on each side that works. Okay, let's do this one. See how crooked it is, and I turn off the soldering tip. See, I can't glue this in until I have this right. And that is too crooked. Look at how crooked that is. Look at how crooked it is that way. Let's see if we can just push it down this way. Here, let's do it this way. Oh my God, I can't see. Hold on. Change glasses to a different focal length. There, that might help. All right. We're probably going to have to get the big chisel tip and pump it up to like 400. Because this isn't going to do it. This isn't going to do it. Not enough heat transfer. Nope. Oh, plus I'm melting the side of the damn thing. You dead idiot. Ugh. Look at that. That's brilliant. Let's get some of that plastic off of there. Thank you. I'm doing good. We're doing good here with this. I've wasted so much time. Okay. That is not good. I'm so embarrassed now. It's not even hot to the touch. How many do I have that work? Only 2, right? My plan was that I would screw this in first. Ouch. It's amazing that I have a single working plane. Let's see if we can get one of them in. Let's see how many we can get in. 1. That melting. Yeah, that's... Oh! It went through. Okay, let's not tighten them though. Loosen them up. This is probably the worst idea I've ever had. Okay. Let's push that in. Which one do we want to try first? No way. No way. It's time to fire up the glue gun. Because if they all go in, we're putting this thing in the plane. This is the one that's not going to go in. Oh, it goes in. Look at that. All my bitching and moaning for nothing. Okay, so the idea here is that I prepare the hot glue and I glue it in, put together like this. So I'll put glue in here and then push this through the glue, and that'll hopefully hold that in well enough. What do you think? Oh, first, okay, since this is going to work. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's going to work. I should not be so down on myself. All right, look at that. It's got that terrible joint there, but the thrust angle won't be exactly straight, but who cares? It's going to be a foam board airplane. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat again. Oh, it's nothing's happened because I don't read the chat, so you guys don't chat. That makes a lot of sense because I don't read it, and don't say anything, and ignore you, and all the things, and everybody's got better things to do than this. Okay, I did all this mess. Let's clean this up. You know how I hate to have a dirty workbench. And I'm going to turn off the sound while I take a big gulp of my drink. Non-alcoholic. I know it might sound like I'm on alcoholic drinks, but hold on. Okay, so the next test is to actually put the screws in that we're going to use, and to attach the motor. And then we're going to paint the fuselage, or Sharpie the fuselage. So we need M3 cap. This is 16. That's a little too long. I was going to use, that might be all we can do though. Oh, here's 12. This is what I want right here. Excuse me. M3 by 12 will be just about right. I think I was planning on using M3 by 10, but I can't find M3 by 10. But we have M3 by 12. So let's take this. This is supposed to be this way. Motor on holes on the side. I measured this as 65 by 66, but my actual foam board cutout was supposed to be 65 by 65 outside dimensions. Okay, let's put one of these in. Go to the bigger. I won't tighten it all the way yet. Take this one out. This is the hardest one, but it still goes in. Okay. Oh, and I got to fire up the glue gun. We're going to build an airplane, or at least part of it. What time is it? Did I waste a whole hour yet? What time did I start? Oh my God, it's an hour and 20 minutes? No way. Oh my God. I started at 9, right? Oh my God. I am so embarrassed. I am so embarrassed. Well, now you know if I ever get fired from my job, it'll probably be lack of productivity, dude. And I am the slowest, like, coder in the world. I mean, I write the first parts of it so fast, and then I get bogged down in the details. Okay, so they're not going to go all the way in. They're going to stick out a little bit because 5 millimeters thickness wasn't enough to do what I wanted when it came to the... But there we go. It all works. AC, it works, you dingbat. Look at that. There we go. Okay, so let's get the glue gun fired up. I am so sorry. I apologize. I gotta look into the camera. I gotta look into the camera and apologize for an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, I started a few minutes late, but an hour and 20 minutes, and I got 4 screws in. Okay, that is our preliminary tiny trainer. Tiny trainer. Okay, so let me change into glasses I can see in. let's fire up the glue gun. One sec, where's the glue gun? Oh, right here. The Flight Test 300. Affiliate links below. Joking, of course. Okay, I can put things away. I don't need this anymore. I am so sorry. Again, I am so embarrassed. Oh my God. Okay, we can put these away. They have their own special drawer over here. We have this thing, which we should put over here. We could glue that other fuselage too. Oh my God, this is so heavy. But I think I needed nose weight on my previous tiny trainer. So this will probably be good. Okay, let's put this away. Let's put these away. That one goes there. That one goes there. This goes here. These go here. Oh, nope, that one is one of those. That one is one of those. These ones are these guys. Waste not, want not, right? Let's put everything away so that we have it next time we need it. That goes in the M3 drawer. But, okay. Chat. How critical is it? It's not critical at all. And for that question, I'm going to make you a moderator. You get to moderate with the, okay, hold on. How do I do that? Add as moderator. There you go. Managing standard. Can review and remove. Yeah, you can put users in timeout, except don't ever put Robert in timeout because he's another moderator, I'm sure, right? Yes, he is. Okay, so the answer to that question is it doesn't have to be straight. The only problem is that the way these two parts were designed in fusion with my lack of, super technical ability, and I can kind of show off what this is if you want to see it in fusion. The holes, if it's too far off, when you're trying to stick a screw through, it won't line up right, and the plastic is going to force it in catty-wonk ways. And even a little bit of plastic, as we saw, even that, like there was so basically this is 5 millimeters thick, and the inset socket that I was designed into this piece very poorly, I'll add, was supposed to be 3.9 millimeters in diameter. Actually, I'm going to make it now 4.2 in my next iteration of this. But there was still 1 millimeter where there was only not a socket, that was just the hole for the screw hole. And even that, just a little bit of plastic in there can force the screw in a little crooked sometimes. That's why we wasted so much time to get it in straight. But your answer is no, it doesn't. The answer is technically for this piece, no, it doesn't matter. But it does matter as far as just getting it to work. And my whole idea is that if I want to change the motor on this, which I'm putting this right now, this cheap ass motor, and I could look for a better motor, and maybe we will before I actually do it. But this cheap ass motor isn't going to last long on this plane. And even though this is a foam board plane, I've got some foam board planes over here that have had like over 100 flights. So this, although I might crash it on the first flight, it might last a long time based on what luck or whatever. And what was the point of that? Anyway, so I don't know what the point of it is. Oh, so I want to be able to take the front off to get at the screws back here to change the motor, because I'm not using some of my planes, like my tiny trainer, my original tiny trainer, which is right here. So this is basically a flight test tiny trainer with a few modifications, mostly just the way the 3D, what I call the wing saddle piece that I make for my wings, so I don't have to I hate using rubber bands. There's something about it. So this motor mount uses the X thing, like the little piece that comes with most motors. But with this, what I'm trying to do is have less frontal area, thus this design, and screw in the motors from the back, which is why I ended up printing in midair and somehow still working, although you can't see it because this camera is so crappy. But my lighting is so crappy especially. Doesn't help that I have those two lights in the background. So I don't know, am I going off on a tangent? Yes, I am. So basically, this is a flight test tiny trainer, except for the 3D printed parts, the battery design, where I've actually made a door in the bottom, and this one's going to have the door in the top, because the door in the bottom is stupid. The other thing that's different from a regular flight test tiny trainer is they put the servos, like a lot of people like to do with their planes, the servos for the tail feathers, they like to put up here and have these long ass, push rods to go. And that's what they did with the flight test model. So they have rubber bands, there's no support. It's a throwaway model. The flight test tiny trainer is a throwaway model. And this is taking that design and making it a not throwaway model by reinforcing everything and making it so it lasts. And also, so you have good control over your surfaces with shorter control rods. And I also use way better servos than they use at flight test. But, that's just me. So, that is the very first plane that I ever, well, actually, the very first plane I ever made was a flight test Aero. But the very first plane I ever flew was a flight test tiny trainer. And actually, I think Andy, no, the very first, I shouldn't say that. I flew planes back in the day when things were way different, when it was a gas plane. But that's a whole different story. And I didn't take it off or land it. I just held the sticks. And yeah, anyway, what was I going to say? I don't know. The very first plane, flight test plane I flew was a Flight Test Explorer, and it flew about 200 meters or 300 meters, and then I tried to turn it, and I stalled it, and I crashed it into the cornfield that I was flying over, and I had not the way I make the Explorer now with the carbon fiber boom, which is awesome, but it had the flight test square piece of stuff like this as the tail boom, and of course that just cracked right in half on the first crash. So then that's when I started taking the flight test designs and saying, here, I want to change this, I want to change that. I wasn't even a pilot yet. I was changing the planes before I knew how to fly them. That's just how I go. I like to customize everything. Even my first 3D printer, the ANET A8, I was modifying it before I was printing anything else. All I did was print things to make it print. And then I started using it to print other things. But the very first thing you have to do with the ANET A8, you have to modify everything. Like I added, I never even used it stock out of the box. I resoldered the hot end wire, the heated bed wires. I took off the connector that always started house fires. It never even turned on as a stock printer out of the box. I modified it out of the box day one, day zero. Okay, the hot glue gun is heated, but also let's let it heat up a little bit more. Let's go to this camera, this one. I'm gonna have to do something with my Stream Deck thingies. The Stream Deck, fake Stream Decks are so... Oh, look at the crappy thing that I have. Oh, these motors. Oh my God. This is gonna suck so bad. We should probably look for a better motor. But let's try this one. Okay, so what kind of screws are we gonna need to get through here and to get into here without hitting the windings? I would say we're gonna need some washers, and because I'm probably gonna have to use washers, Let's see if I can find some 8mm. I'll be right back. Sorry. Please stand by while I go back over to here and go into the room without cameras except on the 3D printer. Okay, we have... Oh, I have all those sizes in there too. 6, 10. I think these M3 by 10 cap heads. No, let's use the other kind. Let's use the kind that I have in here. I'm back. Let's use this kind. M3. These are the 10. These are the 10mm ones, right? I need that screw measuring thing. Oh no. I need to print that little screw measuring gauge that I downloaded a while back. That is an 8mm. These are the 10mm. Maybe let's try the 8mm without washers at first and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to need this, and we're going to go to this camera, and we're going to just first see if we can... Oh, this is going to suck with these stainless steel. Stainless steel screws are great except for one thing. Magnets don't magnet work. They don't do any magnet things. So it's a pain in the ass. You know what? We're going to get... Let's get that long ass screw, or at least a long ass screw. And let's put it through this way. And make sure that they go through. Okay. Goes through. Come on. Oopsie. Turn off that. Goes through. Goes through. Goes through. All right. This part is going to suck. This part is going to suck. How am I going to get this to stick on there? Sorry, this is not going to happen on camera. Okay, we got it. That is probably the perfect amount. Now, we're not even going to use any oh, no! This is not 16 by... Oh, yes, it is. Never mind. Okay, we're going to go right there, into there. This is the right dimensions. Okay, let's do another one. I got the holes lined up correctly. Got it. Except I don't have... Oh, yes, I do. Got it catching in the motor. Perfect! No way, folks. This isn't possible. Okay. Got it in there. Okay. One more. Now, yes, I'm going to have to do the threaded thread locker. This is just testing. I think I should might need to use longer screws. But okay, those will go through there. Like so. Actually, how we're going to hook this up is I'm going to take this. We're going to stick those through there. We'll hook those up, and then we'll pull it back. Because these won't be long enough for me to reach in there and hook them up, I don't think. Okay, let's tighten this sucker down. And I'll look at the chat, I promise. I haven't built a new plane in over a year. Oh, good. I'm glad it's fun. I can show you some other mods if you want. I could talk all day about my airplane mods. it's only interesting to me, I'm sure, for the most part. But okay, so there's a crappy ass motor. Ugly color, ugly motor, crappy ass. Hot glue gun is ready. Are we ready to glue this in? We're going to glue it in. We're going to glue it in with the motor on. Why not? Are we ready? Or yes. No. Wait. I want to do something else first. We're not ready. We are not ready. Hold on. I'm going to take a drink. Okay, these and these will go in the motor box. This stupid thing. There are screws for a better prop mounting thing, which I think I have some somewhere, because this is garbage. This is the most garbage, stupid garbage thing you could possibly come up with. That's not even rubber, that's just hard plastic. It's just garbage. Oops. But you know, Turnigy. Oh, DYS. Does anybody remember DYS? Am I the only one? Okay. What are we going to do? We're going to draw on here. Here's my plan. We've got this. This thing is going. Yeah, if I put one of my Sunny Sky motors on here, it would be black, and that would look way better, wouldn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a very simple design, nothing complicated, super simple, because, you know, it's me. We're talking about me here. Let me change into some little bit better glasses. So what I'm thinking of doing is just kind of like going, do I have like a circle template or something? Hold on. Let me look in my drafting. Yes. I don't have an ellipse template, but I have a circle template. So what I thought we could do is something like, not the width of the thing, a little bit smaller. And let's go about, let's start 20 millimeters in. So 20 millimeters. Can you see what I'm doing? Here, I'm going to move the camera because I got to have the tail feathers off the edge of the table here. 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters. And then this is about 65. So that's 32 and a half. 32 and a half. Metric system is so much better than measuring things by the king's foot. Let me just say that every time I work with I hate the stubbornness of American culture that they can't grow and discover new things. Okay. Let's use a circle template at about, this will just help me get it kind of where I want it. And we're going to go kind of like this on each one of these things. Just to there. Kind of like this. This is not an exacting science, obviously. I'm just doing this on the fly, and I kind of thought of this a little, just like for 10 seconds, and then didn't even think of how I was going to draw it freehand. But okay, so now we're going to kind of go. Let's decide how far we're going to go in. Let's go to 65 millimeters, same as the width. So let's just go 65, 65. 65. Oops. There's tape there in that one spot. I must have screwed up right there when I was building this. I don't even remember building this, but okay, so we're just going like this. There, that's it. That's all we're doing. That's all we're going to do. Kind of a freehand line over to there. Freehand line over to there. Freehand line over to here. Same here. Where is it? Over to here. That part's going to be white because I can't untape that. Okay, and then here we're going to use our fabulous, beautiful paint. And we're going to fill it in. This is how I paint, quote unquote, my flight test planes for the most part. But I did find some stuff. This box I found, it was obviously at a time, I think I was experimenting, just learning how to build flight test. The way that I was also watching Experimental Airlines at that time, which I don't know if you're familiar with that channel, but I think the guy's name was Ed. And now it's been taken over by another awesome dude, Aero Flight FPV or something. What is his name? I'm going to have to look him up. But he builds airplanes in the experimental airline style, so mostly out of foam board or Depron. And for some reason, the flight test method appealed to me. I liked the exactitudeness. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but when you cut up a flight test method, you're cutting these grooves in and you're kind of getting, I don't know, it seems more defined, whereas the Experimental Airlines version, you're taking just a tube. You usually you taper it after you build the tube. You don't build the taper into it, so it's easier to build than this, but it's not as exact from my point of view because you're just kind of putting creases in and then you're folding it without cutting it. Does that make any sense? So now the Experimental Airlines, the arm and wing design is better than the flight test wing design in my opinion, and probably the building technique. What is that guy's channel's name? Aero Flight FPV. I know, shocking. Somebody with an FPV in their channel name. Okay, so this is my painting job. I know it's terrible, but it works. Let's try not to get hot glue on this, though. There's a hot glue gun over there. This part's going to be, you can tell this was early days for me. See this? Well, I screw up nowadays too, so I shouldn't say. But I would have taped it. You can tell, one of the raised, you can tell it's early days because I didn't tape it first. I would have taped this before making it. Now it's going to be much harder to tape. But we're going to do it. We're going to make this cheap-ass plane. It'd still be cheap-ass, but it's so funny how much plans I have to do in a 2-hour live stream and how little I actually get done. Gosh. I fix cars for a living, and we use primarily metric measurements. Yes, because all the car manufacturers are all switched to metric. And isn't it so much easier? Oh, what's the next? Something 17. That doesn't fit. What's the next size up or down? Oh, it's 16 or it's 18. What's the next size up from 13/16? You know, it's the English method. And then when you want to add 13/16 to 5/8, have fun with that. You have to change. Oh, man. That's so dumb. America's so dumb. Sorry, but it is. Okay, anyway, metric is better. Everybody knows it. And even Americans who think that they're getting everything in not metric, everything's measured in metric. All their fluids, I mean, they get gas by the gallon, but everything at the grocery store is actually metric. Their liquor is metric, their Coke is metric. Oh, maybe some stuff is still fluid ounces here, but 2-liter bottles, 1-liter bottle, half-liter bottles, 750 milliliter bottles. Oh, and half a liter. How much is that? Well, it's half a liter. It's half as much as a liter is. Oh, it's a quart. It's a pint. It's a cup. It's a penny farthing. I know I'm going off on a tangent and I'm not even under the damn camera. Okay, here we're going to just do this on the tape. See how it goes. We're going to tape over the tape after I cover it with black goop. So let's just go and guess kind of where we're going here. It's a little bit of guesswork because, you know, I'm not an artist here. I have artists in the family and have had artists in the family who have passed away, but I do not have any talent myself. And that much is very clear at this very moment. All right, so let's take that and cover that with something before I screw it up and smear it all over the place. Okay? And then it's not exactly right. Here, let's make it a little bit better. Fill it in a little bit there. A little bit longer. There we go. All right, there we go. It's not great, but, you know. Okay, let's do this. Cover that sucker up with tape before we smear it all over the place. All right, so that's the idea, is that we've given it a little bit of flavor. Not much, but a tiny, tiny amount. A tiny amount of flavor. We'll give it some more somewhere else on the fuselage, but I wanted to do this in the front, at least. Give it something on the front, some kind of something. Since I didn't get anything else done today, I'm going to do it a stream again before Wednesday, because it's a holiday weekend here in the Great Empire. So we're going to do some more streaming. I won't be able to do any flying. I squandered 3 perfectly good days, 2 weekend days, and 1 day that I could have taken off work but didn't. But the weather was absolutely perfect for flying, and I didn't do it. So here we're going to get rid of this bit of overshoot on the tape here. And since I have a dull blade, it's making my life a little bit difficult. Maybe I should change my blade. There we go. All right, we're ready to glue this. I'll check the chat. Yeah, the modern stuff. My cars, I have 4 cars. The newest car is 20 years old. It's a 2005 car. And my oldest car is 30 years old. This is 1995. And I have them all on the road. I have a pickup truck. Oh, the pickup truck is even older than that. What am I saying? The pickup truck's from 1992. That's the old one. Okay, so here's my plan with this. What time is it? It's time to end the stream in 10 minutes, so I can't believe that was 2 hours. I am so embarrassed. But we're going to see at least of my 3D printed part that I worked on last night. Well, I should have been sleeping and sleeping for work. Instead, I was dead tired today at work. Anyway, I have to fix my cars a lot. I put a new starter in my Honda. What am I hitting the space bar for? Hold on. I got to take a drink of my coffee. Phone off so you don't hear my gulping, swallowing. Although I'm sure you hear it a little bit because I'm still swallowing. Okay. I think I'm ready. I'm afraid to do this. But we're going to put the glue in. We're going to put it in such a way that it doesn't ooze out and get over here, right? Because we don't want to stick this to this. We want to stick this to this. So my plan is to goop the glue inside of here, and hopefully it will not go out, it will go in. It's very hot, so we have lots of time. I don't think we're going to need that much. I'm not a fan of this flight test. It's kind of the action on it is not great. The gluing action. Okay, here we go. Let's not do this wrong. We want it on the side. We'll just hold it there for a minute, flat up against there. It looks straight. Got some glue stringies, but I'm just going to hold it here until, again, it's hot, so it has some setup time. A minute is a good rule of thumb for the minimum time you should hold it. When you want, especially something like a motor mount that you want to not like pull it away too soon. Well, I won't pull on anything, but see how crappy that already looks right there? I taped it. Once I tape it, things are going to get a little janky at the edges, but it won't matter after the first crash. So what I'll do for the next time is I'll get the wing saddle done. I mean, I'm assuming you don't want to see me do it on a live stream, on a Fusion 360 live stream. That would probably be very boring. As boring as this is. There, I think we have it. I think it looks pretty cool. For something I found up in the attic that I had forgotten that I had built, and probably look at all the dust on there. I'm going to have to clean off. Yeah. We can change the motor without too much trouble. That's one of my goals always. I'm going to have to angle. I'm going to use this as a guide when I redo my second iteration of this cone. I'm going to change the angle of the holes so that this lines up with this. That was my idea, that I thought that's what we would be at. I was basing that on, I think I was basing it on the way that the Sunny Sky motors are lined up. That's the problem. So maybe we'll put a Sunny Sky on here after all. But I think what we should do is run this motor dead and then put a good motor on it. We're going to run this motor at 4S until it blows up. I wish we could live stream from the field. I'll have to figure out how to do that. So anyway, I've been talking a lot and not achieving much, but that's what we've achieved. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dare ourselves to unscrew this and see if we'll ever be able to get it back on. Shall we do that? That'll be the challenge of the day. And then we'll be, oh, I forgot to put a screw away. Then we'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. It'll be a random stream for sure. Okay, let's do this. Let's take the screws out. Have I killed myself, you guys? I'll never be able to get it back on because I pushed it up so hard against the foam board. You're probably thinking it won't ever go back that much. I can always trim the foam board a little bit. If that's, see how it pushed out? See how it pushed out on me right there? Okay, so we're taking the screws out, dropping the tool. Maybe I should tape it too before the next. No, I mean taping. Everything, I keep thinking that'll be boring. Everything I do is boring. Okay, does it come off? Oh, there was some glue. Look at that. Some glue came out. So we'll get rid of that with some alcohol. Or just do that. Since we printed it on glass, it's a very smooth finish on this edge. Where did I get the glue? How did I get that? I must have just dropped it on there. Okay, so now can we put it back? I should have paid attention to which way it was. Can we put it back together? Can we put Humpty Dumpty back together? We've changed the motor out. Let's put a screw in on each side. Oh, it's going right in, folks. We did a good job. You guys, it's all because of you. Your inspiration. You didn't give up on me. You said, this dude doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but he'll eventually figure it out. Look at that. It will come apart and go together. Oh yeah, I'd love one of those too. The Toyotas of those, the 80s Toyotas are great. I actually like the Supras too. Speaking of vintage Toyotas. I love the Supras back in the day. My very first car wasn't a Toyota, it was a Datsun. Back in the day when it was called Datsun, it was a Datsun, 1977 Datsun 280Z. Okay, folks. I am glad this turned out okay. I didn't mean for it to take 2 hours to get to this point. That is for sure. I was going to do the trailing edges. We were going to glue the... Let me go get the trailing edges and see if they fit. So the trailing edges, what were they for? Well, one, oh, are these the leading edges? Yes. So one trailing edge, the trailing edge is going to be for this elevator. Because I stupidly rounded the corners, I can't go all the way to the corners because I was trying to, see, I was learning, and I don't round the corners anymore. Or sometimes I do, but I usually don't. That was a flight test thing. So you can tell this was like me learning, because look at, oh no, that one has, does it have? No rounded corners on my elevator on the tiny trainer that I actually fly. Okay, so I should say actually flew. It hasn't flown in like a year and a half. Okay, so that one will fit. Then the leading edges are going to go here. Yeah, they look good. That's how they go on. You put a little tiny bead of glue on. All right, what time is it? We'll do the leading edges and the trailing edge. No, because do I want to do that first before I tape? Probably. Who cares? It's a foam board airplane, and it sure is heavy now that I have this on the front of it. Should probably take that off. All right, we'll just do this real quick. Just do this real quick so I screw it up. No, we're not going to do it real quick because I have to take this off. It's time. It's 11 o'clock, 11:02. I've gone over my allotted time. So we're going to go. We're going to do better next time. I always say that. Hey, but I have my iNav fixed wing group swag. I don't even know if the iNav fixed wing group is still a thing. If Darren and all those people are out there on Facebook, I need to do that. You know, I'm terrible at social media. I don't read the comments. I don't ask people to subscribe. I don't do anything. I don't do the things. You know, I just come out here and live stream, and Robert and Sean watch me. And sometimes Chris and a few other people from Canada, and that's about it. I love you, Canadians. Thank you for being Canadian, by the way. It's an inspiration to have you to the north of us. See what we can achieve in the future, hopefully. Okay, and I am serious about that. Good night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll do better next time. We'll hopefully work on this, and I got all the things for the Chipito. That's exciting. I think I have everything. I even have two motor choices. So we'll talk about that next time, and maybe some other things. Robert, I don't even know if you're still here. I haven't seen you chat in a long time. But so, Robert, Sean, good night. Thanks for watching. I gotta keep talking while I hit this button. Thank you for watching, and happy Thanksgiving and all the things. Good night.